Fear Effect is a series I have a few vague memories of, mainly of the second game. My grandmother played both of the PS1 games over 20 years back, the second first and then this original game, which I remembered absolutely nothing of. I rebought them both a couple years ago thanks to the recent-ish Fear Effect Sedna constantly being on sale on the eShop, reminding me of the franchise's existence around the time I decided to start up this channel. It got the memory stirring and I was interested in going back to remind myself of what it was all about. Then it took me 5 years total to buy and then get around to playing it. The game is set in the year 2050 after the disappearance of Wei Ming Lam, a Hong Kong triad boss's daughter. 3 mercenaries, our playable characters, have been sent to find her with the intent to kidnap her before she can be saved, so that they can ransom her against her wealthy father. First thing I have to do is set the difficulty to hard, as it's the only way to obtain the true ending. This in turn will lead to me being a bit more forgiving towards some of the more frustrating parts, since I have chosen to make the game harder than intended for a new player. Starting a new game shows the mercenaries arrive at Hong Kong by some kind of small jet. Wei Ming narrates the opening, saying that the man that hired them to kidnap her instead of save her once worked for her father. 2 of the mercenaries are in the plane, Hannah Suvachel and Royce Glass. They talk about whether or not they can trust the man who hired them, Jin, who Hannah believes to be reliable. Jin helped Hannah get off the streets when she was younger and before he started working with the Triads. Glass isn't so sure, considering the sheer amount of money at stake, if it even is as much money as he's thinking, which Hannah reassures him it is, considering Wei Ming's father is the most powerful Triad leader in Hong Kong. They arrive at the Lam building, but Hannah is confused as Jin said he would be waiting for them on the helipad. She leaves Glass behind as she goes to look for him, and then I gain control. The game uses tank controls and has me playing on a series of pre-rendered backgrounds and FMV screens, which is the culprit behind the game being 4 discs despite not being that long. I start with a pistol, a knife and a mobile phone. I run around the helipad to find a switch that elevates it. Hannah gets off and Glass stays as it goes back down. I now have to walk along these catwalks. On the 3rd screen is a pair of gunmen. I knife one in the arse, but they were aware of me and they gunned me down. Well, that's a good start. On retry on the helipad, I find a save point, marked by the sound of the ringing phone as I pass by. This is what the phone is for, as I have to use it at these places to save. This time I do better at stealth by crouch walking, letting me instantly kill an enemy from behind with a knife when a red target appears at the top of the screen. Most enemies when killed drop some kind of ammo. While killing the second one, I cross over into a screen in front of a small room with a ladder on it. I can look through the window to see a lever I need to pull inside. I smash the window with my knife and climb in. I pull the lever which releases a valve elsewhere. In the back of the room I can take a fuse off a shelf. I go back outside and get climbing that ladder. There's another ladder going back down near a guard further on. The valve I release is up here and I pull it to steam the gunman ahead to death. I climb down the second ladder and find the gunman is left behind a gate key, the gate it unlocks being right ahead. I crouch walk further to find 2 more gunmen to slash across the arse, one of which dropping a red keycard. Around the corner is the door the keycard is for. The guard in here somehow didn't hear me unlock the door and come in, so I can sneak behind him and kill him too. This is the security room, and I can check the cameras to see that Jin's betrayal was discovered and he's being interrogated somewhere in the building. We can see him dropping a key when he gets knocked over, while Hannah complains that Jin's claim of their deal being clean was a lie. I go through the exit next to the cameras. I move along the next catwalk, past the sign access to take out the next guard. But the one ahead hears it and becomes aware. I couldn't stealth kill him, so he gets a couple shots in on me before I cut him to death. My health is represented by the EKG meter at the top left of the screen. This gunman dropped a machine pistol and I keep moving along the catwalk. This takes me to a switched off electrical grid with 3 guards on screen that I can't sneak up on due to the placement of the furthest left one, so it's a firefight. A firefight where I accidentally cancel the item menu instead of equipping the gun and get wiped out in seconds. I haven't saved since the first screen either, since I missed a save point on the way. The save point is on the desk in the security room. I get back and manage to shoot the first guy through a solid wall, but a 4th joins in right after. A green target at the top of the screen indicates I'm aiming my gun at an enemy. I get shooting a second, but get killed quickly. On my 3rd attempt I take out 3 of them, but a 5th one gets involved and I still die. It's not until my 5th try that I get it. This time, I start by shooting down the middle one and then retreating a screen. I run back in and take out my usual first target where no one can hit me, and retreating again. My machine pistol ran out of ammo, so the 3rd one has to be taken out by a regular pistol. Then I trigger the next 2's entrances so I can shoot them before they get the chance to act. I move on to the next screen and follow the catwalk inside where I find my next save point. I walk down the ramp here to see 2 guards ahead. I shoot one, but they both turn around and kill me. So I play smarter and go back to stealth to get rid of them. Heading towards the corner of the next screen is a fuse box, so I slot in the fuse I got back at the start, which reactivates the grid and cooks a second set of guards that were sent there. It also unlocks a lift I walked past earlier. I inspect the corridor next to the fuse box but get gunned down by the guard waiting for me. After reloading, I discover there is a locker key in the corner of the room I'd saved in. I kill the guard, but there's nothing else to do here, so I backtrack. Back at the grid, I have an issue. With it running again, the floor is electrified. Good news is that panels will temporarily switch off on a pattern that will give me a small window of time to cross. Bad news is I'm bad at tank controls and have to watch Hannah get electrocuted to death a couple times. I make it through on my third try though. I backtrack all the way to the security room and use the locker key on the locker there to get myself the blue keycard and a second pistol. Now I have the option of using either just one pistol or two at once. The lift I activated is on this screen on the catwalk between the security room and the electrical grid. I take the lift down to the lower grid. Next to the fans is a set of wire cutters I take. I then head right and go inside and along the corridors, through the guards until I reach a save point and the door requiring the blue keycard. Jin is behind that door, having been rigged to a timed bomb, trying to make him talk before he paints the walls. Hannah interrupts, and the main grunt with the machine gun sets the others onto her while he runs off. I have to avoid shooting Jin and setting off the bomb, which is easy enough when I can shoot two enemies at once with dual pistols. I then take out the last one and cut Jin's arms free while Hannah asks what went wrong. Jin believes Lam didn't trust him and had him watched. I now have to deal with the bomb using the wire cutters I picked up. While they talk, we get mentioned that the third mercenary, Deke, is waiting in a hotel. Hannah asks who else knows of Weeming's disappearance outside the Triad, and Jin tells her that it's just her group. After they discuss how much money she's worth and how it's shared out, Hannah ends up setting off the bomb's timer while trying to work out how to disarm it. I have 6 minutes, and after slowly walking around the room picking up all the ammo, I use the wire cutters to get started. The correct order to cutting the wires is the right red wire, the left yellow wire, the right yellow wire, the left red wire, the right blue wire, the left blue wire, the bottom blue wire, the bottom yellow wire, and then the bottom red wire. Hannah decides to keep the bomb for later, and while Jin tries to change his fee, Hannah just demands the package he promised, a flash disk with all known information on Weeming. It includes the best place to start looking for her, and is hidden in the control panel near the building's neon sign. The key to it was taken by the grunt who ran off. Hannah tells Jin to go into hiding. Jin says he thought he was going to die, and then immediately gets gunned through the window to his death. That guy with the machine gun is the culprit, and he runs off again through the same door. So, was he just hanging outside that door all along, giggling to himself, waiting for the right time? Either way, he manages to escape by taking the lift I used to get down here. First time I passed through here, I ran past a door next to a chain link fence. I plant the bomb I took from Jin onto that door and blow it open. Running through it takes me back to the area where I fixed up the fuse box for the upper grid. When I end up back up there, it looks like someone's turned it off again, thankfully. The catwalks have been refilled with grunts as I backtrack to the sign access ladder next to the security room. Down the ladder and saving, I have to sneak out the door to take out the guards under the sign. I go through the entrance at the end of the catwalk to confront the gunman who killed Jin. His health is represented by the 6 bullets on the top right of the screen. I tried just standing there and using my double pistols, but that only takes out 2 sections of his health bar before he kills me. Next I try my unused until now dodge roll. I roll behind cover, roll out to get some shots in, and then roll back behind cover. It works fine until he gets moving again. Since there are a lot of buttons in use at once combined with the tank controls and the stressful situation, it's easy for me to make a mistake. I take 2/3 of his health but keep messing up my dodge roll alignments and get killed. Third try is my worst yet as I trap myself in a corner against him and barely damage him. Fourth try I damage him even less. Skip to my 6th try and it's 2/3 taken again before he gets me. But on my 7th try, everything just works out. I get the alignments right for my dodging and manage to take him down with minimal damage. He drops a sign key and a second machine pistol so I can dual wield those as well. I use a sign key on the panel and have to match up the characters to the order they are on the sign outside. I can't read them to know what they say or how they're pronounced, but it's that. That is the correct order. The panel opens up and Hannah takes a flash disc, but she gets a gun pointed to her head. Meanwhile, Glass is getting impatient. He smoked a whole 1 cig and is getting bored, so he's going to go look for Hannah. I go over to the lift I took at the start of the game, but before Glass can get it moving, a vehicle, a roto ship, flies up and missiles our own. It also knocks down a panel revealing a new ladder. I have to avoid missile fire and climb up it. It still takes me to the same catwalks I crossed with Hannah, but this time they're crawling with SWAT guys. And Glass is left with just the base weapons since he hasn't had a whole gameplay section picking stuff up before this. No stealth here, just have to keep shooting. I have to climb the ladder on top of the lever room again, but this time I'm crossing it while avoiding copter gunfire. The room is blown up so I can't go back and the copter retreats. The explosion gave me a safe place at least. I pick up a pipe from the rubble and use it on this nearby steam valve, getting Glass steamed in the face. Instead I whack it with his melee weapon, the Smackjack, which makes it explode. But I think I'm in a cutscene and just stand there, letting Glass die in the explosion. Next time I take 3 slow steps back, which makes it perfectly safe. I take a look in the resulting hole, only for the entire catwalk to collapse underneath him. Glass manages to grab something on the way down, but loses his grip and falls further. The sound of his fall distracts the gunman escorting Hannah, and she takes a chance to knee him in the balls and make him drop his knife. I take it back and get in a damage race with the guy's gun, winning and gaining an assault rifle for my victory. Time to sneak out from under the sign once again. But I alert the guards and get killed. Next time I get killed by the guy with the rifle. Third try I ignore stealth and run out there shooting, which works. I go back to the sign access ladder, but when I try to climb it, a door opens to reveal Mr. Lam, Wee Ming's father. He tells Hannah that she's made 2 mistakes. The first is not realising that he has enough resources to find his daughter himself. The second is that she didn't kill him before he could talk this long. And so Hannah gets captured again, and everyone forms a big pile to get some punches in on her. Meanwhile, Glass wakes up on top of this huge set of pipes. Different sections of pipes will heat up and cool down in a pattern, like the electrical grid earlier. Unlike the grid, touching hot pipe is not an instant death, though it's pretty close to one. I hang along the left pipes to find a valve I turn. I assumed I'd turned off the heat, so I got cocky and died from slowly walking back along it. Next time after turning the valve, I get back and run along the right hand pipes, stopping near the end for the safe space. I get all the way to the end and get back outside, where the roto ship returns for me. I don't know how to deal with it at first and get killed. I run to the top left of this area, wait for it to fly in front of this flag and shoot the flag off, getting caught in the engine and slowing it down. I then run to the right side and do the same, bringing the roto ship down, smashing a window before it explodes. Glass climbs through the window and ends up in the room Hannah found Jin. I take out the enemies and go through the door back to the lower grid. I sneak back through the corridors, stealth killing all the SWAT guys and gaining an assault rifle before going through the door Hannah blew open. I stealth kill the first guy through here. I step forward and there are 3 men aiming at me, so I panic and go nuts with the rifle, taking 2 out before the third gets me. Second try goes worse, as I only kill 1 before I go down, with a 4th joining in. Rather than stealth kill, I hang in the doorway and just shoot from there. It doesn't work that great, since in that exact spot it's somehow impossible to shoot the enemies on the left of the screen, so I die again. 4th try I try rolling around the screen, but forget to change to a gun when I need to shoot and get wiped out again. 5th try and I get it. I crouch in this exact spot, shoot when I can, and inch myself further when needed. The rest of the enemies form a single file line and make it easy for me to shoot them all down. Sadly, when I go up the ramp and I'm so close to saving, I run out of bullets on the last guy in there and get killed again. It's not until my 7th attempt that I get back and empty that room too and can finally save. I run past the upper grid and get killed on the catwalk. I get past on my 2nd try and return to the sign access ladder. As I go down it, Lam tells Hannah that the disk Jin made is encrypted and demands a code. But Hannah never knew of a code. In that case, Lam gives his men permission to shoot her, only for Glass to show up on time and shoot most of them out, one of them escaping with Lam. He hands Hannah a gun and leaves her to deal with another roto ship while he shoots at the grunts in the back. To fight the gunship, I have to wait for it to leave itself exposed, then roll out from behind the wall and get shooting before rolling back in to avoid gunfire. Glass will drop some ammo for me, but it's right next to him, so I have to go out of my way to get it. I end up taking half of its life before it kills me. 2nd try, it goes really well until I get it down to the tiny sliver and then don't realise I'm out of ammo until I'm standing there exposed. Trying to roll neatly into the ammo so I can pick it up doesn't go well and I get killed again. But I get it on the 3rd try. With the gunman shot down, Hannah jumps over and kills the pilot, taking the roto ship. But Glass still needs to escape too, so I have to run towards the screen of this FMV of the pursuing SWAT team until I reach Hannah at the end and jump aboard. Hannah then takes off and Glass tells her to go to the hotel so they can meet Deke and tell him about what's coming up. Deke, real name Jacob Descartes, receives a package with some sort of needle inside. He gets picked up by Hannah and Glass in a limo, who fill him in on what happened. Deke assumes they're abandoning the mission, but Hannah says that now they need Wee Ming as leverage for a safe exit from China. Deke points out that he only signed on for the money, and Glass says they can still get it, but they just need to find Wee Ming before anyone else. Deke is convinced and pulls out the decryption spike, the needle-like thing he got at the hotel, and Hannah uses it to get the disc working and finds a warning on it.
Only those deemed worthy will be spared. If Wee Ming is not back among us on the 17th at midnight, we will fail, our fortunes will fail, and our sacrifice will be meaningless. The Fungan cannot allow this to happen. Wee Ming must be found.
Glass asks if Hannah has ever heard of the Fongans, but she hasn't. Probably just one of many secretive aristocratic groups. Jin's voice plays on the recording, saying that Lam has found that Wee Ming has been meeting with someone named Madam Chen. The recording of Jin mocks Hannah over the possibility of Wee Ming seeing her, and that Hannah knows where she can be found. Madame Chen is something from Hannah's past, and it's clearly a sore subject. Hannah says she believes Wei Ming may be in a town called Shanxi, up the Hansik River, where Madame Chen has a restaurant. The conversation is interrupted when a car tries to ram them off the road. They end up going off a bridge and into water. But they all get out safely onto a boat. That's where the first disc ends. That was a good start, established the futuristic setting and got me used to how the multiple playable characters taking turns running about the same setting works. Leaving Deke out and just having me with 2 characters to start with stops it feeling too complex or overwhelming to begin with. Disc 2 goes in, and because this is a PS1 game with a female protagonist only 4 years after Tomb Raider, the second chapter starts on a shower scene. Meanwhile, the boat everyone climbed on is going up the river. Hannah only gets the chance to put a towel on before it all starts kicking off. They pass a small fishing village which is up in flames. Glass accuses Hannah of withholding information and asks why Wei Ming is so important when Deke sees her on a pier. Glass and Deke head off ahead while Hannah goes to get dressed, but even the enemy are aware of the year this game came out and she's stopped when a demon with a machete jumps out at her. Start of a new chapter means my equipment has been whittled down to the basic single pistol and knife again. I shoot them down while they inch towards me and have Hannah run along the pier to run into 2 more. To save ammo, I crouch and keep swinging my knife, interrupting their attacks with my own most of the time, but still taking a few hits. It takes quite a few swings to kill one though. Then there was a seemingly dead one to the right that gets up and comes to me. Even with the pistol it takes many shots to bring one down. Once they're all taken out, Hannah hides in a nearby house while Glass and Deke continue to chase Wei Ming. Glass gets ahead while I play as Deke for the first time. I run along the pier and turn right, entering the first door on this building. Deke has a breather when a big guy smashes through the door and tries to attack him, but Deke shoots him first. He falls over, dropping a flaming paper doll and telling Deke he has no idea what he's fighting. Deke responds by blowing his brains out. That's when he gets surrounded by demons. Welcome to one of the most awkward firefights you've ever seen. Somehow I come out on top, but only barely. While Deke checks out one of his kills, Glass is still chasing Wei Ming. He turns a corner and the pier ahead is on fire, and his way back isn't blocked when a flaming palm tree falls on it. I get the chance to save here, which is good as I'm gonna be here a while. I run along to the bridge and, like the electrical grid and the hot pipes before it, the fire appears and disappears on this bridge in a pan. It's a bit tough being so precise with tank controls, and I lose a chunk of health by the time I reach the next screen. The bridge is surrounded by demons who can't climb up, so I'm still stuck crossing. The pan tricks me by having the fire at the end disappear and then burst back up immediately. The resulting death scene is a little funny though. It's like Glass willingly, casually walked into fire and was then surprised to see himself up in flames. I get past it next time with very little health remaining. Glass walks along the pier and sees some men with guns across the river. Back with Hannah, the demons have overtaken their boat completely, and now I'm stuck in this corner with a large wave of them coming for me. Taking out all 5 of them uses up so many bullets. I get moving forward once they're all gone, past this shack to the screen where Deke and Glass split up. I go the opposite way to just find a couple more demons. I then go the way Deke went and into the house to get attacked by 2 more demons. I try to bait the sleeping one to kill it easily, but he gets a hit in and finishes me off. No save yet, so back to trying to stop Glass from setting himself alight. Next try I kill them all, only to find the room is empty otherwise. I kill another demon outside and am wary of the sleeping one. I try to slowly approach, but the camera angle changes and he sneaks up at that point and kills me. Then Glass combusts again. I take out the demon that killed me next time for the ones from the right route to reach me. I inspect the second room of this house only to get smacked to death in seconds. Glass burns again. Then I reach that second room and die again. Then I decide, screw those rooms and just run past them, heading towards this house in the back. 2 demons in here and I kill them, one dropping a poor monkey. The back of the house is on fire and I leave the way I came and go back up the left path at the fork. I end up in front of this locked door and use the poor monkey to get inside, finally granting me a spot to save. The demons in here don't attack me and I walk to the back to find an old woman. She tells Hannah she needs to wash off any blood, as it was the blood that turned the people of the village into this. Hannah asks who caused this. The woman says that the day before, a fishing child fell into the rocks and sliced his leg open. He would have died had he not been found by Wei Ming, who carried him back while covered in his blood. Everyone ran to thank her, but then it all started. The old woman tried to escape on the military train that passes through once a week to gather rice, but since the military fear the demons, they shoot anyone who approaches the train. She says that Wei Ming is to blame for all this and Hannah asks if she knows where to find her. She does not. The demon in front of her gets up but I take him out. I find a second pistol in the corner and leave the old woman behind as I go through the back door. The military are right outside and could have heard everything they were saying. I stealth kill the 2 of them and go right back to save. There's a train station out the back but I run the other way along the tracks first. At the front of the train there's a spot to save and past it I take out the soldiers in front of a small group of houses. As I approach them, it looks like they're on fire with more soldiers on patrol, making it unclear how much of the fire was caused by the demons or by the military trying to contain it. I take out the soldier by the end houses and the one demon here, clearing out the area in preparation for later. I then backtrack and run up the train station. There are 3 soldiers patrolling here, but 2 of them are in line, meaning stealth killing one tends to alert the other, resulting in another death. Second time I just try the dual pistols, but I don't even get 1 kill. What follows is several almost identical deaths. After 11 attempts at trying to fight these guys and failing, I try a different approach. I pretend to be Sonic. I have Hannah dodge roll forward and past all the soldiers, hoping the invincibility frames will keep me safe from their bullets. It actually works, and I dodge roll my way into a cutscene. A soldier sneaks up on Hannah from behind and holds her up. I have to go into my inventory to use the wet towel, making Hannah expose herself to the soldier, who is all awooga awooga just long enough for Deke to snap his neck from behind. After a couple jokes, Hannah fills Deke in on what she's learned. Deke decides to check out the train, but not before asking Hannah what the paper doll is about, which she dismisses as superstition, explaining that burning the dolls will send whatever the doll represents to the dead person it was burned for while they await judgment in hell. Hannah comments she's never seen them used in this kind of situation before. She says she'll check out the front of the train and sends Deke ahead while she robs the dead soldier of his uniform. Playing as Deke again, right away I have some soldiers to sneak up on. Deke's melee weapon is a pair of brass knuckles, which as far as I know, none of the melee weapons have any gameplay differences. His default gun is the shot pistol, of which I have 2. They're more powerful than pistols, but hold less ammo before needing to reload. A pair of them will kill a soldier in 2 shots. I head to the ramp where there are 2 more soldiers and kill the first, but the spot I'm standing in is awkward and won't let me hit the other, so I die. This means having to repeat my spin dash as Hannah. Instead of going towards the ramp, I go into this corner to kill a soldier for an assault rifle. It's also where I can save. With it, I quickly kill the soldiers up the ramp and 2 more to the right side of the train. I check around the left side and promptly get shot to death by the 3 soldiers there. I try dodge rolls with the dual shot pistols next time, but they still get me. Next time I just run in there with the assault rifle and barely take them all down. I run further back and enter the open train car. A soldier comes up from behind and shuts the door behind him, trapping me in a boss battle with this bloke with a machine gun with just a box separating us. I hide around the boxes at the front of the screen and wait for him to come out so I can roll out and shoot. Thing is, you have to be really fast after he's done shooting, as he'll go back into hiding almost immediately. And it can't be done too early after the dodge roll or you'll shoot the explosive box and take yourself out like I did first time. And the second time. And then I didn't even make it back to the train next time. Then he shot me down, and then the barrel again. On my 6th attempt I get it, but it takes a while. I slowly plink away tiny bits of his health in the second he's standing up after running out of ammo. Once he's low on health, I just stand in the open and fill him with rifle fire while he's coming out to finish him off. He's killed and the train door is shot open. I can take his Mark V assault rifle and go out the door to find the soldiers have filled the place back up again. This new rifle is quite good though, so I take them out easily and claim a labour access card. I head over to the left to this ladder control panel and use said card. I have 2 fuses in here to move around. I move them into the middle column under power and lock free. Turning the power back on unlocks the ladder. I then move them under power and ladder in the left column to make the ladder lower. I go up the ladder where I can save. I walk along the ceiling grid and soon get attacked by a new kind of demon with hook hands, telling Deke that Wei Ming belongs to them. They're fast movers and can jump off screen and drop down elsewhere to try and run in and cut you. I take them all out and get back to moving along the ceiling. This screen in particular is an issue, as the angle makes it so hard to tell what is girder and what isn't, making it very easy to just walk off the edge for an instant death. So next time I try a different path, walking along this much clearer screen and taking out many more hook hands on the way. Once I've killed all of them, 1 more drops down and Deke kills that one too. The way it dies, just bursting into flames and burning into nothing in seconds, leaves Deke with questions. Meanwhile, Glass catches up to Wei Ming while she works out he's a mercenary. She asks Glass what she's worth, to which he replies 90 million in cash and not being killed. She's not willing to cooperate though, saying Lam has been hiding a massive truth from her entire life, and only meeting Madame Chen will let her change her destiny. She can't let anyone interfere with that. Glass doesn't care, as he feels very strongly about not being killed by triads. She apologises for the mess here, saying she didn't know blood was the catalyst and that she only wanted to help that kid. She says she isn't evil, but has the power to release evil in others. Before Glass can take her, more demons show up and Wei Ming makes her escape. I have 3 demons I have to kill out here, and then it's back to clearing out the houses where there's 3 more. Once they're all dead, we swap back to Hannah. She's back at the save point in front of the train. There's 2 soldiers nearby, and running back to the nearby houses, 1 more soldier to get rid of along with some demons. There's 2 more back near the old woman's house. She's still there quivering, we can't help her. I run through the front door and return to the house I've cleared out a few times now, where there are now hook hand demons to deal with and several more machete demons. I next return to the house where I found the Pomon key and have to face both kinds of demons at once. I run out of assault rifle ammo and the dual pistols aren't enough to deal with the volume of attackers, so I die again. Next time I conserve that ammo and blow them all away, one of them dropping the Shimon key. Time to backtrack all the way to the end house past the train and use said key to get inside. There's a single soldier and a wave of hook hands to kill in this very cramped space. The soldier drops the train key and I just barely take out all the hook hands as I run out of rifle ammo. Thankfully they dropped a lot more around the house. I return to the train and use the key to get inside. In the back of the room is a letter saying to deliver a foreign weapon for an $8,000 payout. But more important is the number in the top left. I have to put that number in the panel at the front of the train. 4N2B422C8000. After putting it in, Deke shows up. She asks if he's seen Glass, but before they can decide whether or not to wait for him, they come under fire from above. Deke goes to deal with them while Hannah gets the train moving. Aiming on top of the train is a bit dodgy though, and so first time I die before I can kill either of the soldiers here, showing Deke falling off the train and getting crushed under the wheels. Next time I make sure to equip the dual guns to take them both out much easier. But even then, I only kill one with the second taking me out. Third time I kill them both, but the train is actually narrower than it looks, and so Deke falls off again when I try to pick up the ammo. Fourth time I kill them both and just stay in the middle. Glass runs up behind the train and yells at Hannah that the bridge ahead is out. No time to brake, Hannah just jumps out. Deke sees his situation and I have to run against the train as fast as I can. I must have reacted just a little too late as the explosions catch up to Deke and he falls with the train. Next time I make it a tiny bit further and Deke manages to jump off in time while the train is annihilated. Hannah checks on him while he complains that the train and its contents may have been worth more than Wei Ming. Glass says the train can still be useful and goes ahead while Hannah looks after Deke. He jumps down onto the floating burning remains. I can save and get running along the carriages. The military have got here too, so I have to deal with those as well. I reach the other side of the bridge and get back on land. I find a jeep and 2 soldiers, who I gun down quickly. But then a third joins in from behind and kills me with a shotgun blast of a dick when I turn around. But next time I'm ready for him, along with a 4th and 5th coming from the same side. However, a 6th one finishes me off just as I take out the 5th. I kill the 6th next try, but there's a 7th and 8th to bring me down instead. 4th time I try stealth, but I don't kill one of them that time. And on my 5th try, the 5th soldier shoots my arsehole clean off. On my 9th try I get it. Before alerting anyone, I dodge roll to the bottom right corner of the screen. From there I have access to all the soldiers that appear without having to waste time turning precisely. I barely take damage and can wipe most of them out while they're still running on screen. One of them drops a truck key and I use it to take the jeep. Turns out Wei Ming is in here. She demands I take her to Shanxi and says that after they've seen Madame Chen, she'll let the three do what they want with her. Glass asks her who she is and how all this could even happen, to which Wei Ming says that she hopes Madame Chen can tell her. But we won't be finding out this episode. We're exactly halfway through the game and I've finished the second disc, which is a good place to leave it for now. Disc 2 has a good atmosphere as well, with the village feeling very cramped and more claustrophobic, with how often you can get crammed in small places with loads of demons. I will say that I found it had more frustrating moments than Disc 1 had. Getting Hannah into the train station and that last bit came to mind. Plus the dodgy detection with Deke on the girders and the train. But then with all 3 characters I think they still managed to balance it well with all the moving about and character swapping. So far I was having an overall good time though. Despite my complaints, the setting, atmosphere and the mystery about what is going on with Wei Ming had me going. I even started getting used to the tank controls. It's so strange having seen someone play a lot of this game, but having no memory to the point that coming back is basically a completely new experience to me. But of course there are 2 more discs, so we'll see if the goodwill the first 2 have built up will last the rest of the game or not.